Chapter 21. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This taste, that when Mu Yu Ting Feng put the high-grade spiritual energy fruit to her mouth, her white lips and teeth gently rubbed forward, it seemed that before her teeth could exert force, the fruit immediately melted on the tip of her tongue. It had a cool and slightly sweet fragrance. Stimulated every taste bud. When it slid down the throat to the esophagus, Mu Yu listened to the wind as if her whole body had soared to heaven. At that moment, she really felt like she was Chang'e in the sky, playing in the clouds and dancing with the pigeons. Just a fruit. I can. It gave me such an ultimate experience. Mu Yu Ting Feng's body trembled, and her blue eyes were half squinted with a drop of mist. The indescribable bliss made her inner emotions surge and she couldn't extricate herself. This was the ultimate experience of life's sublimation. It was as if she felt it as an ordinary person. This is a pleasure that you can never experience in this life. Is this a fairy fruit? Mu Yu Ting Feng couldn't help but have this ridiculous idea appear in her mind. For a long time, she stayed in place, and suddenly she sighed softly. Who are you? Who would have thought that a fruit can bring such an experience to people? Suddenly, Mu Yu Ting Feng felt that the primary spiritual energy fruit no longer smelled good. After tasting a more extreme taste, how could he miss the taste of the lower level? At this time, Mu Yu Ting Feng suddenly realized something. Being set up. This bad guy. He deliberately gave me this fruit to attract me. Mu Yu Ting Feng gritted her teeth slightly and puffed up her cheeks. She looked angry, but it made people feel cute. After eating more delicious high-level spiritual energy fruits, who would want to continue to eat low-level spiritual energy fruits? You know, Mu Yu Ting Feng, also it's not that there are no good fruits to eat, it's just that the fruits are not as good as Lu Shu. It just so happens that she has the ultimate pursuit of delicious food in the world. She wants the best. Unfortunately, there is no best in this world, only better. Gift from Lu Shu. The high-level spiritual energy fruit obviously broke the best fruit Mu Yu Ting Feng had eaten before. Now, if Mu Yu Ting Feng still wants to eat the high-level spiritual energy fruit, then he must give more benefits in exchange. Every time, how can the primary spiritual energy fruit that comes once a week satisfy Mu Yu Ting Feng's enjoyment needs now? Hateful. Why is his fruit so delicious? Envy. Mu Yu Ting Feng gritted his teeth. After a moment of relaxation, he calmed down slightly, thinking of the 3 talents he had combined. There are quite a lot of letters, and my heart suddenly feels balanced. Anyway, no matter what talent awakened by Shuren, no matter how you put it, his it's impossible to have as many as you. After eating the entire advanced spiritual energy fruit, Mu Yu Ting Feng was surprised to find that his physical fitness had greatly increased. It's a pity, if you can only increase your physical fitness, it will have too limited effect against the monsters in the grey world. Mu Yu Ting Feng sighed. However, she suddenly remembered the achievement of the Shuren, who won the first kill of the boss. My precognition ability should be unmistakable. The one who killed the boss was a yellow-skinned rat. I guess he just got a big deal, right? Mu Yu Ting Feng shook her head. At a certain moment, she actually doubted whether the Shuren had really killed the boss himself, but the precognitive power had already told the result. The murderer was a yellow-skinned mouse. And the high-level spiritual energy fruit exchanged should be the upgraded fruit of the Treeman. It has nothing to do with the yellow-skinned mouse. With this kind of effect, no matter how fast the production speed is, it is only an A-level talent at most. In the dangerous grey world dungeon, A-level talents are at best cannon fodder with stronger resistance. Combining all kinds of information, Mu Yu Ting Feng is becoming more and more sure that the achievement of Lu Shuren's first boss kill is indeed dependent on picked up by luck. However, how can good luck always come to a person's head? Next time, he won't be so lucky, right? Mu Yu listened to the wind and sighed slightly. The grey world is really big. Lu Shu sighed in his heart. The Death Manor and the Ghost Town are at both ends of the City of the Living Dead. Lu Shu set out from the teleportation array and headed to the Ghost Town. On the way, he needed to return to the City of the Living Dead and travel to another place. At one end, anyway, Death Manor has been cleared. Next, Lu Shu asked Pikachu to go all out. The A-level movement speed was completely released. It only took half a day. Pikachu's large army had arrived at the ghost town. The whole town is cold, dead, gray, and lifeless. The roads are overgrown with weeds. The decades-old houses have become rotten and moldy. The weird scene, combined with the endless gray fog, makes people feel scalp numb. Ordinary Divine Tree Master seeing this scene, I was afraid I would be scared away. However, Lu Shu led an army of 100 Pikachus and walked in fearlessly and arrogantly. He was as arrogant as a village bully. After walking a distance, a voice suddenly came to Lu Shu's ear. Tip, 20 meters ahead, the ghost of a resentful woman appears. Ghost of the resentful girl, category, wrongful soul, danger coefficient, C-, perception range, 15 meters, power, 30. Speed, 50. Defense, 10, physical immunity, skills, ghost floating, soul absorption, description. In that catastrophe, the witch town's many girls have died, but their ghosts still remain in the town and will never be dissipated. Ahead, a translucent ghost floated in the air. Lu Shu originally wanted to command Pikachu to use the electric power to deal with it immediately before. The opponent could sense it. Unexpectedly, the resentful girl ghost was very fast and came to Lu Shu 15 meters away and discovered his presence. A taste of the living. A creepy sound came from the ghost's mouth. The translucent ghost of the resentful girl floated in the air and rushed towards Lu Shu, opening her sharp teeth. In the form of a spirit body, this kind of ghost not only is it extremely fast, but it is also immune to most physical attacks. For most sacred tree masters, if they don't have the skills to restrain ghosts, coming here is basically a dead end. Electric shock. That when the ghost of the resentful girl rushed over, Lu Shu used the electric power without hesitation to give the opponent an electrotherapy. You activate the electric power on the ghost lady, causing critical damage. In the thunder, the ghost's figure was instantly annihilated. With attribute restraint, Lu Shu's mental power has reached B level, and it is very easy to kill monsters of this level. You killed a resentful female ghost and received primary soul +1. Elementary soul, type, special consumable, function, some props may need to be consumed to activate. Did you drop materials? Lu Shu's expression was startled and strange. Can materials drop from the ghost? Opening the warehouse, there was an extra human head showing a twisted and painful color. Well, this is the fallen primary soul. Even if it turns into materials, it doesn't look very pretty either. It's so ugly. Lu Shu couldn't help but frown. I didn't want to put such a disgusting thing in my warehouse. And it was put together with fruits and pork. But I thought it would be useful later. Just stay. After killing monsters, the dropped materials are also processed by the system. There shouldn't be any big problems. Boom. At this moment, a black ball of light appeared in the gray fog and swept towards one of the Pikachus. Warn. You are experiencing an unknown attack. Chapter 22. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Careful. Lu Shu shouted immediately. Pikachu reacted instantly and returned the electric shock. The lightning shattered the gray fog and offset the sudden blow. At the same time, Pikachu's figure took a step back deftly and looked at the black fog warily. The direction from which the attack came. Where did this attack come from? Lu Shu frowned. The attack came from outside the gray fog. The enemy was not within the field of view, but a long-range attack from outside the field of view. He must have encountered a stronger monster. Then, there was another identical attack, flying over from the depths of the gray fog. After also using electric shock to offset the attack, Lu Shu's heart moved and he rushed towards the direction of the attack. As long as he followed the direction of the attack, he still couldn't find out the location of the enemy. Soon, witch wearing wizard robes, but with empty eyes, appeared in Lu Shu's field of vision. She was holding a staff in her hand. The top of the staff bloomed with bursts of black light. It seemed to be able to absorb the soul. The nearby ghost of the resentful girl was actually sucked into the staff, and then turned into a black mist and attacked Lu Shu. At this time, Lu Shu also got the information about the monster. Cursed witch, category, undead, magician, danger coefficient, B. Perception range, 25 meters, power, 20. Speed, 15. Defense, 50. Skills, undead magic, dark perception. Description: they were originally outstanding witches in a small town. It's a pity that in that catastrophe, the kind-hearted witch turned into a monster. Sure enough, her range of perception is huge. Lu Shu frowned slightly, perhaps because the other party is still a magician. The cursed witch's perception range is wider than that of ordinary monsters, and she also has the ability to attack from a long distance. Therefore, when Lu Shu found the enemy before he could reach the position, he would be attacked by the witch first. The witch raised her staff, but when she saw that the attack failed, she wanted to launch a second attack. However, after the position was found, how could Lu Shu give the opponent this chance? The figure turned into a flash of light and immediately came to the witch's side, 100,000 volts. The violent current bombarded the witch's body. In the blink of an eye, the witch turned into a charcoal-roasted witch. And the souls condensed on her body emitted bursts of the ear-piercing scream turned into black mist and dispersed. That you killed the elite monster of Ghost Town for the first time, the cursed witch. Get the wizard robe. Obtain primary soul X3. Get a special letter X1. In front of Lu Shu's eyes, the magic weapon interface suddenly appeared. Wizard robe, category, coat and armor, grade, silver, attributes, defense 10, magic resistance 20, durability 5. Description: it has a great effect on resisting the magic of the magician. Killing an elite monster for the first time is considered a dungeon reward, not an achievement reward. It just increases the critical hit rate of drops. The prizes inside all drop from the cursed witch. Every time you get to a new dungeon and kill elite monsters, you can basically get a high explosion rate. In addition, that special letter also attracted Lu Shu's attention. Take it apart and take a look. The contents on the envelope appear before your eyes. Something seems to have happened at the Wizarding Academy. Leave the academy and don't come back. This letter is in tatters, and the handwriting on it is also very sloppy. It is like a piece of paper pulled out in a hurry and a sentence written quickly to convey important things to the witch, combined with the description of the system. Lu Shu secretly guessed that this town was originally a normal town with ordinary residents and witches, but everyone lived in harmony, until one day, a disaster and catastrophe befell the town. The people here turned into monsters, and the witches turned into cursed magicians. Combined with the nearby city of the living dead and the Death Manor, the cursed owner of the manor, Lu Shu guessed that there might be some reason that made this area so weird. And could the appearance of gray fog be related to these things? Perhaps. You can find the corresponding answer by entering the Magic Academy mentioned in this letter. Lu Shu secretly guessed in his heart, only by moving forward can we know the truth. Pikachu's large army continued to maintain its exploration formation. At this time, in the northeast, through the vision of a Pikachu, Lu Shu discovered a water source there. Gulu. The sound of gurgling water sounded nearby. Have water. Lu Shu's heart moved slightly. Water source is also a rare resource in the Sacred Tree Island. The place where the sound of water came from caught Lu Shu's attention. If it were an ordinary Sacred Tree master going on an adventure, there would be no it's so easy to find this water source. After all, Grey Mist's field of vision is quite limited. He can only see a small area. In other places, he has to feel his way across the river. Lu Shu has a large Pikachu army with a field of vision of 2,000 meters. Guang, and by luck, he found the water source of the ghost town. He walked forward, a small stream appeared in front of him. Next to the stream, an ancient wooden shrine was built. There was actually a little fire inside. Fire source. Lu Shu's eyes moved slightly. In the gray world, light sources are even rarer than water sources. Slowly approaching the wooden house, Lu Shu suddenly found a figure wearing tattered sacrificial clothes and holding an oil lamp in his hand. The figure was sitting. He seemed to be taking a nap on the wooden wicker chair under the eaves. When Pikachu approached, the figure suddenly trembled and opened his eyes. His eyes were as empty as those of a cursed witch. The figure's body suddenly condensed with the aura of a black ghost. A reminder popped up in front of the tree. Goddess, category, undead, priest, danger coefficient, B+, perception range, 20 meters, power, 25. Speed 10. Defense, 30. Skills, dark sacrifice, curse of voodoo doll. Description, the goddess is the priest who guards the holy water of the town. Like she always does, she took a sip of holy water and went crazy. The goddess had already stood up from the chair, looking at Pikachu with her empty eyes. She held a candle in her hand that flickered on and off. Suddenly, a black energy came out of her empty pupils. There seems to be a thin gray line connected to Pikachu's body. Warn. You are cursed. Please kill the enemy within 10 minutes. Otherwise you will die from an inexplicable curse. Chapter 23. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Kill her. Lu Shu activated his thinking resonance and immediately conveyed the battle message to Pikachu. Pick up. Pikachu rushed forward angrily. This monster attacked him inexplicably, so there is no need to be polite. 100,000 volts. The violent current bombarded the priest's body. However, a cursed black suddenly appeared on the priest's body. Chi. When the electric light fell on the black chi shield, it did not directly penetrate the armor as expected, but was offset. You are cursed and cannot attack the goddess. Is there such a skill? Lu Shu's brows frowned. The curse of the goddess seems to be different from the ghost of the resentful woman and the cursed witch. It does not belong to the type of undead, but to the curse. The effect of the thunder and lightning power is not that obvious. However, this curse only targets one of the Pikachus, and can only be used on one target at a time, but behind this Pikachu, there are 99 brothers. When the Pikachus behind who were not cursed rushed over, they released 10 at the same time. 10,000 volts gave the goddess the most desperate electric shock. Obviously, the cursed Pikachu was unable to cause effective damage to the goddess. Pikachu, who had no curse effect behind him, launched 100,000 volts, and the effect still exploded instantly. Zitzi. Violent thunder, the figure of the goddess disappeared in the thunder. I curse you to never be reincarnated. That the goddess uttered a vicious curse before she died. She seemed to want to curse again, but the lightning waterfall suddenly washed away all the darkness, and the body that should have decayed was instantly annihilated. In front of Lu Shu's eyes came the sound several pieces of information that you killed the high-level elite monster, the goddess. Get Searchlight X1. Get the goddess's amulet X1. Get Advanced Soul X1. Goddess's amulet, type, jewelry. Grade, silver, attributes, magic resistance 20, spirit 10, blessing +1. Set, Revenant 8-piece set, February 8, effect, Revenant perception +1. Description: this amulet has the effect of blessing, has a chance to be immune to the curse, and delays the time when the curse takes effect. Revenant suit. Lu Shu's eyes suddenly lit up. A lot of good things were revealed from the goddess's body. What surprised Lu Shu was that the Dead Soul suit has the skill of Dead Soul perception. To put it simply, on the basis of the original field of vision, on the road, Lu Shu can sense the breath of dead souls outside the gray fog. It is equivalent to the insight of the sixth sense. When encountering the cursed witch again, Lu Shu can still use this sixth sense even if he has no vision of the other party. Dead Soul sense to find the location of the enemy. Perhaps, when adventuring in the gray world, the sixth sense is a very special but important ability. Searchlight. Lu Shu's eyes moved to the small flames in the warehouse. Is searchlight used? Yes. Vision +1. The next second, the searchlight torch in Lu Shu's hand became a little brighter. It turns out that search fire can increase the light source. Lu Shu's eyes lit up. Although the range of the searchlight only increased by 1 meter, the searchlight fire was not obtained from the boss after all. If more goddesses can be found, then there will be a chance to obtain more fire. After killing the goddess, Lu Shu came to the side of the stream and looked down. Unfortunately, this water source has been completely polluted. It is all dark in color. It seems to be cursed. Lu Shu shook his head in disappointment. He thought he had found a valuable resource, but it turned out that he would be lucky if he didn't die after drinking this water. Just as he was about to leave, a prompt appeared in front of him. Inside the wooden house is a prophecy left by the goddess before she was cursed. Prophecy. Lu Shu had a puzzled look on his face. He walked into the wooden house. He saw a text carved crookedly on a table. Melly, that smart, gifted girl, will bring disaster to this place because of her curiosity. However, killing her will not help, disaster will come sooner or later. Unfortunately, by the time people knew all this, the holy water had been contaminated, and no one could stop the curse of Red Melee. When people thought of finding the Holy Grail, everyone near the Holy Grail turned into monsters. Going in search of the Holy Grail, the prophecy ends here. Not only are there no words at the back, the twisted lines look like children's graffiti, and even a little of the words in front have been crossed out. The chaotic font reveals madness. Perhaps the goddess turned into a monster when she finished writing the last paragraph. It was at that time that disaster struck the ghost town. Lu Shu frowned slightly, thinking about the clues. Melee is the boss of the ghost town. And the witch's prophecy seems to imply that Melee will become a disaster in the town. As for the holy water, it is indeed contaminated. The key to the solution lies in the Holy Grail, but where is the Holy Grail? The prophecy stated that the Holy Grail was the key tool to deal with Melee, but the people nearby turned into monsters, indicating that the Holy Grail was supposed to be protected. It's just that the Guardian turned into a monster. So, the people who went to search for the Holy Grail were all killed by monsters wandering nearby. I wandered around this shrine for a while. There is nothing else to gain here. Lu Shu leads the Pikachu army to explore other places. On the way, he encountered several attacks from the ghost of a resentful woman, but this kind of monster doesn't have much value in killing it, and Lu Shu's perception range is farther than them, so he can force a fight in most cases. At this time, Lu Shu raised the torch. A magnificent castle appears ahead. Under the gloomy gate, the road opens wide. Compared with other places, this seems to be the place with the most complete preservation of architecture. After walking in the ghost town for so long, Lu Shu had never seen a more magnificent building than this castle. Suddenly, a prompt appeared in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Warning, ahead is the Witch Academy in the ghost town, and Red Melee is inside. The danger factor is extremely high. P.S. Brothers, please try not to keep books. The book has been officially signed and will not be cut by eunuchs. Updates will start to be added later. If you have flowers or evaluation votes, you can vote for them. Thank you for your support. Chapter 24. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Lu Shu's expression changed. Unknowingly, we have arrived at the boss location of the ghost town. This seemingly peaceful castle has already been lurking with countless monsters. Compared to the owner of the manor, Melee in red is much more dangerous. Want to go in? That while Lu Shu was thinking, a prompt sound suddenly came from his ear. Ding. Your ninja fruit tree has reached maturity, ninja fruit plus 100. Now draw a teleportation array here. Lu Shu did not choose to attack the boss of the ghost town immediately. He found a relatively safe place and carved a magic circle. This is a teleportation point. Pick up, all members assembled. Lu Shu called all the Pikachus to the teleportation array. As the light curtain changed, then all the Pikachus returned to the island. Lu Shu switched back to his own body. Stand up, not far away. The ninja fruit tree is covered with 100 dark night fruits. Ninja fruit, type, superpower fruit, function, obtain a ninjutsu type superpower. I wonder what kind of ninjutsu powers you can get after eating it. Lu Shu's heart moved slightly. It's like opening a blind box. If you don't swallow it, you will never know what the superpower is. Little guys, go eat some fruit. 1 pill per person, no one can take more. Lu Shu pointed at the ninja fruit tree and smiled at these little cute creatures. Anyway, there are 2 production times left, and 1 tree can produce 200 fruits. Let 100 Pikachus eat them all first, and wait until the second time they mature. Finally, Lu Shu's body could be eaten again. When the Pikachus heard that there was fruit to eat, they ran over happily. Bah! Bah! Not long after, all the fruits on the tree were eaten. In the blink of an eye, the ninja fruit tree just bawled. Belch! Hiccup sounded one after another. When all the Pikachus had eaten the ninja fruit, the pet panel popped up in front of Lu Shu's eyes. Pikachu. Type, Pokemon, power, 100,000 volts, shock fruit, clone technique, physical, C+, speed, A. Mental, A. Comprehensive potential, S+. Clone technique. Lu Shu looked shocked. Clone technique, type, ninja power, function, consume a certain amount of mental power to create a clone with 20% of the original body's strength. You can summon at most one at the same time. Not too bad. Lu Shu nodded slightly. Although it is only 20% of the original body, in the Grey World, the clone can replace the original body to conduct surveys and battles, and can even lead the charge, inquire about surrounding intelligence, or provide vision. It is already considered very good. It worked. Moreover, all the Pikachus have the clone technique. Lu Shu has a new plan to attack the Wizard Academy in the Ghost Town and deal with the boss Red Meili who may appear inside. Retransport back to the Grey World. 100 mighty troops rush towards the Wizard Academy's castle. It's like they don't know there's danger inside. Just step through the gate. Suddenly, there are several grey fogs nearby, attacking Lu Shu. Electric shock. The Pikachus have already entered a state of preparation for battle. A-level mental power is not only as simple as releasing skills, but also improves reaction speed. Boom! The thunder and black mist collided, making a harsh sound. However, still. Before Pikachu's large army could find all the enemies, more and more black mist attacked, and they continued to attack the large army. The undead magic in the sky was densely packed, and they were all range type. The damage was too much to withstand. One of the Pikachus had no time to use electric shock and hurriedly dodged to the side. When the black mist fell on the ground, it suddenly turned into a terrifying black mist and spread out, affecting Pikachu's body. When it was on the body, it was immediately corroded. However, something unexpected happened. Pikachu turned into a ball of smoke and disappeared. And the black mist penetrated the smoke and fell to the ground, leaving a deep black pit. It looks weird and scary. More and more Pikachus on the field are hit by the black mist. However, they have one thing in common, that is, when they are hit, they all turn into smoke. It doesn't take long, all Pikachu turned into smoke. And the Wizard Academy returned to silence. Outside the Wizarding Academy, 100 Pikachus were waiting outside. That's right. The Pikachu who entered the Wizard Academy before were actually created clones. And these Pikachus can not only provide vision, but also find the locations of all enemies. The location, and number of enemies have all been determined. There are a total of 80 cursed magicians and 20 goddesses with curse abilities. It must be resolved quickly. After Lu Shu got the information, he quickly deployed a strategic plan. Among them, the goddess is the most troublesome enemy. The curse can even be immune to attacks. At least 2 Pikachu can be successfully killed. Everyone acts separately. Lu Shu commanded calmly, undead magic causes area of effect damage. If Pikachus get together, they will be easily attacked. After determining the location of the enemy, you only need to defeat them one by one. Under Lu Shu's leadership, all the Pikachus entered the Wizard Academy again. This time, the momentum of the army was completely different. The clones only had 20% strength, however, this Pikachu's main army had 100% strength. All the strength. The yellow flashing figures quickly passed by the cursed witch and went straight to the goddess. The attack speed of those undead magics is very slow and cannot fall on Pikachu, who has an A-level movement speed. 2 Pikachu formed a team, cooperated, and launched a joint attack on a goddess. The curse of the goddess can only be used on one Pikachu at the same time, before the curse takes effect. Sizzling. Sizzling. Furious, the sound of electric current sounded. You killed the goddess, the advanced soul +1, and the searchlight +1. You killed the goddess, the advanced soul +1, and the searchlight +1. With its extremely fast movement speed, Pikachu can quickly reach the goddess and kill her before the curse takes effect. Even if the curse succeeds, the other Pikachu that is not cursed will kill the opponent instantly. Soon, 20 goddesses all fell under Pikachu's 100,000 volts. Every time you kill a goddess, you can drop a fixed amount of searchlight. And Lu Shu instantly harvested 20 searchfire seeds. Do you want to use Searchlight X20? Yes. Vision plus 20. The next second, the gray fog in front of Lu Shu's eyes was quickly receding. Chapter 25. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The bright fire light dispelled the fog and illuminated the surroundings. 40-meter sensing range. When the senses are expanded, the sense of oppression caused by the gray fog seems to be instantly reduced a lot. At this time, Lu Shu had gained the vision of all the cursed witches. They need a certain amount of singing time to cast magic. They hide in the gray mist and rely on their unexpected long-distance consumption to pose a considerable threat, but if you can see the opponent's movements, Pikachu can easily dodge. Once the mage is approached, it goes without saying what the consequences will be. Split up. Defeat them one by one. Under the command of Lu Shu, each Pikachu began to fight separately. Their dexterous figures can easily avoid undead magic attacks. You only need to chase them in the direction of the magic attacks, and you will find them soon. The location of the cursed witch. The next thing to do is to give these ugly enemies a taste of electrotherapy. Zitsy. Zitsy. Soon, there was a burst of electricity on the field. Sound. With its super-fast movement speed, Pikachu found the enemy's position and turned on the power without saying a word. After the witch was approached by Pikachu, she had no ability to resist at all and was electrocuted to death by 100,000 volts. You killed the cursed witch, the intermediate soul +1. You killed the cursed witch, the intermediate soul +1. At this time, the reward for killing the elite monster becomes an intermediate soul. The rewards are different. Only in rare cases will magic weapons be revealed. However, the letter never dropped again. Lu Shu no longer had time to care about these details. He commands all Pikachu to kill surrounding enemies quickly. Unconsciously, dozens more souls appeared in Lu Shu's warehouse. And the cursed witch had almost been killed. At this moment, a blood-red claw suddenly descended from the sky and covered it downwards. This attack was too sudden, falling from the sky, and it was extremely fast. However, even after falling from the sky, Pikachu's perception range increased to 40 meters, and Pikachu had enough reaction time to immediately dodge sideways and avoid the attack of the dark red claws. Boom! When it fell to the ground, a deep ravine was immediately left in the ground. The ground with cracked claws spread about 10 meters into the distance. As the boss appeared, Lu Shu's eyes were calm, and he was not too surprised by this. He led a large army of Pikachu, and they all made so much noise in other people's territory. It would be weird if they didn't come out. At this moment, in the sky, a line of fire covered the entire body. With the aura of an innocent soul and a strange black light emitting from her pupils, a woman in red appeared in Lu Shu's field of vision. At the same time, a panel appeared in front of his eyes. Melee in red, category, Cursed Wizard, Danger Coefficient, A. Perception Range, 50 meters, Power, 202. Speed, 180. Defense, 200. Skills, Blood Black Magic, Group Curse, Wrong Soul Fury. Description: in the past, this Wizard Academy talent the most outstanding which made a contract with the devil, or in other words, she was chosen by the devil. 100,000 volts. That when Melee in red just appeared, Lu Shu summoned all the Pikachus and launched the most violent lightning attack on each other. However, a blood-red shield suddenly appeared all over Melee in red. Blood. Black magic. When the disaster struck, Melee in red almost killed everyone in the town. This endless blood became the source of power for Melee in red to cast black magic. Lu Shu's eyes moved, and immediately filled up the 100,000 volts of electric current. 100 Pikachus released their powers at the Red Mary at the same time. Even with the blood shield, it was difficult to withstand it. The violent electric current broke through the blood shield. But the next second, Melee in red used blood escape. Her figure immediately disappeared into the gray mist. Thunder and lightning swept from all directions, and a second after Melee in red left, they bombarded the place where she disappeared. There was a horrific explosion. Suddenly, a burst of chanting floated from the grey mist. Melee in red activated the curse. You are cursed by red melee. Your attacks cannot cause damage to red melee. Please kill the enemy within 10 minutes, otherwise you will be cursed to death. Tip: find the Holy Grail in the Wizarding Academy and use the blessed holy water inside to purify the curse on red melee. Same as when dealing with the goddess, however, the curse of red melee can curse multiple targets at the same time. Not only is the attack ineffective, but the opponent must be defeated within a limited time, otherwise he will be cursed to death. It can be said to be quite a troublesome enemy. Not only, melee in red suddenly sang a long song. As her voice became more and more sad, all the ghosts of the nearby resentful women came to the sky above the Wizard Academy. Melee in red launched a rage of wronged souls. The ghosts of resentful girls in the sky cover this place. These densely packed enemies are floating in the air, and they are so numerous that they are almost uncountable. Anyone who faces the ghost of the resentful woman in the entire town at the same time will feel extremely desperate. Melee in red floated in the sky, looking down at the enemies on the ground indifferently. It's like looking down at a swarm of bugs. Ding! You triggered the blessing aura. Immune to the curse. At this time, a reminder sounded in Lu Shu's ears. He was surprised to find that among the 100 Pikachus present, he was the only one who was not cursed. This is the effect brought by the goddess's amulet. Unfortunately, the equipment can only be used by yourself, and other Pikachu cannot receive blessings. It would be difficult for Lu Shu to kill red melee on his own. At this time, several resentful female ghosts came to kill. Use electric shock. The curse can only not harm red melee herself, but it will still cause damage to other enemies. All members, enter the castle. Lu Shu did not panic and commanded calmly. He guessed that the holy water was in the castle. 100 Pikachus broke into the wizard's castle. Lu Shu raised his head and found that there was a little light coming from the main hall of the castle. He felt the power of blessing inside. However, the main hall was blocked by a magnificent bronze door and could not enter. Use the power of the quake fruit. Lu Shu said immediately. At this time, the power of the shock fruit came into play. 100 Pikachus used the shock fruit at the same time. Boom! The door was opened instantly. In the main hall, a holy grail containing blessed holy water appeared. In front of Lu Shu's eyes, Lu Shu immediately stepped forward and picked up the holy grail. A panel immediately popped up in front of him. Holy Grail, function, can convert any water source into blessed holy water. Blessed holy water, function, the water source commanded by the gods can nourish all things and purify evil things. The moment Lu Shu obtained the holy grail, he immediately arrived above the Wizard Academy's castle. Red melee's use of curses and rage of wronged souls is not without any cost. She lost the ability to move and could only float motionless in mid-air. Using the recoil of the shock fruit, Lu Shu's figure suddenly rose into the sky. While the body is still in mid-air, he sprinkled the blessed holy water stored in the holy grail towards red melee.